Blood Angels and White Scars cosmetic close-up. Okay, so I found a few images of the new cosmetics, and now there's two pictures here for this post, but I found another article that shows off other cosmetics from the pack. But yeah, ultimately, I just kind of wanted to talk about the Blood Angels cosmetics. I know a lot of people are a little disappointed at the amount of options for Blood Angels we are getting. However, well, actually, I have a question also. Blue helmet, yellow helmet with Blood Angels, is that like that's like a hierarchy thing, right? Like one of these guys are a captain, most likely, probably this guy. But yeah, regardless, this helmet specifically, I think the Blood Angels helmets are very good looking. I think they could be like the coolest helmets in the game, potentially. And then we also have this chest piece, which looks fine. I'm actually pretty excited to make a Blood Angels guy. I just, I understand people's concerns with the amount of options we are getting. But still, I think what we are getting here, at least what's shown here, looks very cool. Now, if you guys remember the Siege Mode trailer, I think we have a specific tint of red that is like a Blood Angels added cosmetic. Regardless, the red that they use in Siege Mode, in the Siege Mode trailer, I think it's a Blood Angels cosmetic thing. It looks very good. It looks very good. So even though the images here only show off like 2 new cosmetics, I think we're definitely getting more. And obviously there's some other photos I want to take a look at also. But still, I like these helmets. These helmets are very cool. Yes, I understand it's a little disappointing that we're not getting a Blood Angels champion skin because, to be honest, from what we see right here, I imagine it will look very cool. Now, the White Scars stuff, I think they nailed. I think the White Scars stuff they have, or they're going to add into the game, I think looks very cool. Is this combat knife unique for the White Scars? I'm not sure. I know this hammer right here, that's the hammer you get from Ordeals. And then this, I think that's an Oculus? I think this Oculus weapon skin is definitely White Scars centered. It looks very, very cool. I have to admit, I do like this champion skin. That little flare on top of the helmet does look a little weird. And then, is this a glove? This is a weird glove. But still, I think ultimately the entire champion skin does come out pretty well. I will likely be playing a lot of that class when we get the White Scars Assault champion skin. I'll probably be playing more Assault in that case. But yeah, for the Blood Angels, you can definitely notice that so far this image only shows off a chest piece and a helmet, and then when it comes to the White Scars, we have an Oculus skin, potentially a new combat knife, but I'm not too sure about that. The White Scars, the other White Scars stuff looks cool. But yeah, I can understand how people are disappointed that they're not getting a Blood Angels champion skin, because this one came out pretty good. I can imagine a Blood Angels champion skin would come out just as well, and probably would be the coolest champion skin in the game. But okay, let's check out more photos from the upcoming cosmetics. All right, so here we have the same Assault White Scars champion skin. It looks like there's like a red tint on the plasma there, which is interesting. I didn't see anybody talk about new weapon skins for the cosmetics packs, to be completely honest. But yeah, I like it. I like it. Now, I guess this would be what we get from the pack that isn't from the champion skin. Like, this is a White Scars shoulder pad, White Scars chest piece, maybe a White Scars helmet. The White Scars helmet does look pretty good. I kind of like the flare on the belt as well. This looks fine. This looks fine. I don't think I have any... Oh, an ad. Wow, cool. I really don't think that, that's not an ad by me, by the way. That's a random ad. Just wanted to clarify. The thing about the White Scars setup is it feels like everything's just a little bit... I don't know. It feels like it comes together a little bit more because of the champion skin. It feels like the champion skin kind of gives like aura to the other White Scars cosmetics here or something. Ultimately, yeah, they definitely did a good job with the White Scars stuff. As you can see, there's definitely a lot of cool cosmetics here. We already kind of looked at that photo. But yeah, okay, here's a Blood Angels version of, I guess, some of the extra cosmetics we are getting for the Blood Angels. Chest piece helmet we've already talked about. That looks cool. That looks cool. Still, yeah, I understand what people are getting at, though. Like, here's a White Scars, and here's a Blood Angel. Like, I don't know. I just don't know if we have enough that makes the Blood Angels look unique. I do kind of understand what people are getting at here, because even here we have, like, the White Scars flare. And then for the Blood Angels, we get a cool helmet. I'll give them that. The chest piece is a little meh. But it does identify you know, the Blood Angel. So, hey, that's pretty cool. But then nothing else really stands out here. I mean, maybe one of these shoulder pads are a Blood Angel shoulder pad. But I mean, if this, okay, see that little gem right there. So this weapon skin, I believe that's a bolt carbine. Is that a scoped bolt carbine? Wild. Wild weapon to use here. But yeah, if that's a bolt carbine getting a weapon skin, that's pretty nice, I guess. I enjoy that. That's cool. I guess that shoulder pad maybe, no, because of the strings right here. And then not to mention, isn't that chapter icon not bloody? Whatever. Yeah, I don't think either of these, I unfortunately don't think either of these shoulder pads are new. Well, maybe this one because of that shield. Huh. All right, well, regardless, so far from what they previewed with the cosmetics, I haven't really seen anything Blood Angels besides the helmet that really stands out. But the white scars look good. The white scars look very good. But yeah, the Blood Angels, I'm starting to understand why people are a tad bit disappointed in what they've received. I mean, I'll still try it out. I'll still try to find a good way to portray a Blood Angel, 100%. But yeah, when you look at this, and then you go over to here, it's not. You know what? I will admit, I do like the scoped bolt carbine. I do like the bolt carbine in general, but I will say the scoped one is just more fun to use for me. But yeah, that weapon skin does look pretty good. But yeah, let's go in the comments. Let's see how people are, you know, responding to the fact that the white scars cosmetics look so good and the Blood Angels it doesn't look as good. Man, I feel kind of disappointed in the Blood Angels stuff, to be quite honest. I've been waiting forever since release for a Blood Angels pack, and this just doesn't scratch the itch. White Scarf stuff looks very good, though, especially that knife with the horse head. Okay, so the knife is confirmed something that is coming with the White Scars I guess the White Scars cosmetic pack. I'm not too sure how they're going to package this together, because I assume the White Scars champion skin should also come with the White Scars pack, but yeah, I'm not too sure, the Blood Angel stuff, yeah, I know. We talked about the Blood Angel stuff before, and I didn't really get a grasp on what people were really disappointed about the Blood Angel stuff for. Like, I was talking about it, but ultimately that was the first I've heard about the Blood Angels, you know, not having great cosmetics. And if you guys recall, we were talking about a post that was basically breaking down which chapters were the most popular, and that led into the fact that the Blood Angels cosmetic pack was definitely a little bit underwhelming, considering how popular they are. That was the first introduction I had to the potential disappointment that people were going to feel with the Blood Angels cosmetic pack. I will admit, I am also a bit disappointed. I do think maybe there's one or two pieces that could have spiced it up a little bit more. But ultimately, I am excited for that helmet, and I am also excited for the fact that, you know, it is a challenge in a sense to get the most you can get out of these cosmetics. So maybe there's a piece or two that might look a little bit more Blood Angels relevant that we have in the vanilla game, maybe. But yeah, ultimately, it's definitely going to come down to how creative we can get. I'm also still kind of. Yeah, the different colored helmets for the Blood Angels. I never seen a Blood Angel with a blue or a yellow helmet before, so not too sure what that entails. Maybe that can lead to more, you know, cosmetic creativity if, you know, Blood Angels can have different color helmets, but ultimately that still only gets so far. But yeah, with that said, I just think the Blood Angel stuff needed more flair. Ultimately, I just think it needed more flair. I did a pretty good comparison between the two cosmetic packs when it was just like a simple Space Marine who has White Scars stuff and Blood Angel stuff. You just see a lot more flair with the White Scars. So, nah, I definitely am seeing what other people are seeing when it comes to the Blood Angels cosmetic disappointment. Remember, everyone, be positive. So, this is an image from Space King of, I guess, some of their Blood Angels. Also, yeah, the Blood chapter in Space King were all white. So, I mean, hey, maybe you could use some of the White Scar stuff and put it on your Blood Angels cosmetic, and maybe that can spice it up a little bit. But yeah, so I only picked this comment because it's funny. But yeah, you do see a lot of people in the comments talking about the Blood Angels cosmetic. They genuinely think that the devs put less effort into the Blood Angels cosmetic, and I have to. I mean, of course, I can't agree or disagree because I don't know. The thing is, yeah, that's the weirdest thing. It's like trying to like guess the amount of effort the devs put into a certain cosmetic. It's like ultimately we can see that the Blood Angels cosmetics needed a little bit more work. Now, I'm not going to contribute that to effort. I think the devs are putting effort into the game, and even if it's a skeleton crew or whatever people theorize that we would ultimately need confirmation for, they're still trying their best. And honestly, the way that the White Scar stuff came out, I think they definitely could have delivered more with the Blood Angels, because the White Scar stuff looks great. I'm not too sure why they keep doing these like double chapter cosmetic packs. Maybe the Blood Angels could have been a little bit, the Blood Angels cosmetics could have benefited from a little extra time, just a little extra cooking might have made those cosmetics a lot better. I do think ultimately it comes down to time, because if they could have taken more time for the Blood Angels cosmetics, I think they would have. 100%. I'm not too sure why they have a release like this where there's 2 chapter packs. Maybe they need to double think that or something. But yeah, ultimately, I'm not going to say the devs hate the Blood Angels or they didn't put effort into it. But yeah, there's a seemingly time-related issue, because I feel like if they had more time, it would have came out better, considering how good the White Scar stuff looks. You know what I mean? So it's not like they're delivering 2 bad chapter packs. They're delivering 2 chapter packs, and one of them feels 100% complete, where the Blood Angel stuff feel like 80% complete. I'm really just asking for like 1 or 2 flare items for the Blood Angel stuff to really make them look cooler. I think some people wanted more armor pieces, which is fine. I think they got the helmet, they got the chest piece. They can do the shoulder pads if they want, but like, we will see. We will see. I do think there will be more than just the helmet and the chest piece for the Blood Angel stuff, most likely. And not to mention, we haven't seen the colors yet, and again, with the Siege Mode Red, that Siege Mode Red looked very, very good. And yeah, I will reiterate, potentially you can use some of the White Scar stuff for the Blood Angel stuff also, but it's not going to be... Yeah, it won't be the easiest to get creative with the Blood Angels cosmetics, unfortunately. You're definitely going to have to stretch some things for some unique looks, because then otherwise, everyone who's a Blood Angel in this game is going to look the same. We will figure it out. We will figure it out. Don't worry. The one thing I don't like to boast about is how good my Marines look, and I will find a way to make the Blood Angels chapter pack just a little bit better with vanilla items. I don't know. I'll get creative. Some of my Space Marines look very good, but I'm also not the most lore accurate. So I remember I was using the Dark Angel stuff with the Ultramarine blue, and yeah, I was getting made fun of in the comments for that. But honestly, the Dark Angel's chest piece is so good. I don't think there's another chapter pack that has a chest piece look as good as the Dark Angels one. So I was just using that for everything for a while. I do like the Ravens. I do like the Raven Guard and the Space Wolves chest piece. They look very good. I do think the Blood Angels, it could feel a little bit too samey, maybe. Maybe it just needed a blood vial somewhere. I don't know. Let me know in the comments, though, your guys' thoughts with the Blood Angels and the White Scars chapter packs. That was basically a quick review of how it might not be quick. This was not quick. Yeah. that was a review of the cosmetics that we are getting. It didn't break down all of them, I think. I think we saw like the main ones. So ultimately, maybe there's a surprise in there. Maybe they can add a Blood Angels cosmetic for an event or something soon. Who knows? Regardless, let me know in the comments what you guys think about the chapter packs. And thanks for watching.